All right, lads and lasses, week two, Dataset 7, loans. How do you manage a process? So, in week one, we went through, we had a look at the kind of the raw data. Yeah? Where's the CSV file coming from? How does it start to knit together? Yeah, built two tables. Looks dead good, dead simple, isn't it? Oh, job's a good one. I know what I'm doing. Right, and this time, now what we're going to do. So we can do this. This is kind of part of the course, isn't it? This is the sort of thing that we expect to be building. So what we've looked at is the resources. So we're people. How many loans have they offered in a month? What's the total value of those loans? How do we go through this? Yeah. And then for loans, actually, what are they for? So the breakdown of the loans. Where's our breakdowns coming from? Where's the money going? All those kinds of things. Yeah. So we'll cover how that's built today. Right? And I want to go in and have a look at these things and we'll discuss where we can expand. So far, so good. Champion. Let's get into Power BI. So here we are in Power BI, yeah? You can see where we were last week. We've got a table here that we've built, right? The measures that I've written are pretty simple. The main one that I've got in here and that you're going to need to learn, and it'll be one that we'll put in the description down below, is this filtered one here, right? Now, this filtered one we'll use next week, right? Now, one of the topics that you'll cover and that you'll do, and I'll be honest, you will do it. I know you'll do it. I know you're saying you won't, but I know you will. You will. You will. I'm talking to ye as well. I know it'll be ye, right? What'll happen is you'll put in what are called bi-directional relationships. Yeah, you have a relationship that goes both ways. Now, in a small table structure like this, yeah, we've just got two. That's fine. It's not a problem, right? But once you get into the bigger star schemas and beyond, right, Snowflake or even big enterprise grade data modeling, right? A bi-directional relationship in the wrong place can cause chaos because your measures will not work properly. This is the way that it will flow, so it will go from one to many. If you think, well, many should filter the one, technically it can, but the general flow is the other way. It's this way only. Now, if for whatever reason you want to be able to say, well, I need to be able to understand what that case ID means in reference to the offers, which is what we're going to do next week when we get into the process mining, you need to have a way of overriding this one way system rather than saying, well, I want it to work both ways. So I'm going to go into the relationship and tell it to be bi directional. Okay. And so what we do is we deal with that by using this is filtered. Sorry, not is filtered, cross filter. Sorry. Right. It's called filtered and it's cross filter. Right. I probably should have given it a better name, shouldn't I? So what we're doing is we're saying, I want to know how many case IDs we've got in the offers table using a cross filter. So based on the number of case IDs that are in the mining. So if we're looking and we're saying we've found a problem area in our process mining, I want to know how many processes that involves. This cross highlighting or cross filtering is going to allow me to filter this offers table, which would then allow me to pull in some more information. Right. In the case of this, it's not a huge amount of information we'll be able to get, but in the real world, this is where you would start to be able to build proper tables of information that allow you to do that drilling back through, understanding what it means, and actually going on with this. This one table of data we've got from this loan company, it's never going to be enough to do a full report pack, but the process mining capabilities are so good, I think it's well worth having a look at. So the other two measures I've written for this is loans, which is just account rows of the offers table. So that's just telling us how many loans have we got. And remember, count rows is a really efficient little function that's there. Just going straight to the table. How many rows are in the table? Dead easy. Yeah. The other thing we've done is we've done a sum. So give me the sum of the requested amount for the loans amount. Okay. Again, I'm sure there are better ways we could have done this. And if we had proper access to the raw system behind it, we would be able to do something a lot richer than this. Right. But these two measures will give us a great starting point for what we want to do. Right. And in fact, just using these two measures, we've been able to build these. Yeah. Right. And there's one more thing I want to do. What I want to do, I was just looking at this and I was thinking, do you know what's missing from here? There's going to be a little bit of a tree map in it. It's going to show so what we want to know is how many loans and by loan case. So like the goal. Yeah. Break it down that way. And this gives a really nice visual representation of just actually where's our money going when we're loaning stuff out. Where's it actually going to? Right. And that's vital. That's a really important way of being able to break down and understand what's going on in a business. So tree maps, they're quite new to a lot of people, right? But they are a really good way of representing. Effectively, it's giving me this value here, right? Except I put loans. I want loan amount, didn't we? Help if I picked the right one, wouldn't it? Why didn't you tell us, man? I picked filters even. What was going on, man? Right, there we go. Loans amount. Right, yeah, 98 million. So we can see 98 million for car loan, home improvement loans, yeah. Car loans, 87. So this is all nice balanced. It gives me a really good way of seeing what's happening, right? And then from there, I can obviously start to interact with the other visuals around the page, right? This is key for people to understand. A couple of things I've also done is just given the sheer number of people that there are, I've done a top 10, right? Just give us the top 10 because there's tons of resources that are in here, right? But you may decide, if we were doing this in the proper world, would probably say, I actually want to have something along here that's going to give her a decent filter on it, right? A good way of looking at it, right? This works. This is perfect. We can do this, right? We can see user 49. It's got 936 loans, right? What a star that user 39 is, yeah? Or 49. Yeah. Call him Jeff. So Jeff's got 49 loans. Sorry, 936 loans. We can see somebody who's not doing so well. Let's call him Ross. He's only got 527 loans. He's not very good at this, getting people to take loans out malarkey, is he? Right? Maybe we should turn his hand to YouTube, see how he does there. It all works out, right? And the interactions and the capabilities between it are really good. Okay, we can see I've put a little flag on here just to kind of see what's the person doing. The flags here, we're going at the conditional formatting. You see it's in here, it's an icon. I've just done it on percentages. There's now really in there in terms of logic. The stuff we could do, we could look at making sure that it was more year on year, month over month, so we could have it on the main table and have it based on is it growing, is it going up, is it going down, right? The data set, the more I've looked at it, it's just limited. I did want to do more on KPIs in this data set, but it's just too limited. Process mining is what this is about, and we're going to crack onto that next week. In here, the key thing is, right, the way I've built this is around, I want to know what me loan agents are doing and approving and what they're for. Yeah. So I could quite easily be saying, right, user 10, what's going on right now at the top here? Right. Where's it? Oh, okay. And that helps. I can start to build up that methodology. I can use the sorts in here, sort the loan amount, so we can find out who's got the highest loan amounts. And it's Jeff with his like 936 loans. So that's actually staying pretty close to the truth. But here we've got a switch, haven't we? So 3 and 17, sorry, 18, sorry, has switched. There's not much in it, but this person's got less than 72 less loans out, but still has done more. So what have they done? A lot more of this, a lot more of that. Right. So at some point you start to be able to compare and contrast what's going on with staff. How do we break them down? Right. Let's set up a comparison table. Pause the video now, right? Let's see how you're doing. You guys build a comparison table because, of course, you've been following along, haven't you? So you can build a comparison table that'll go through and allow me to pick and choose resources and see how they're doing against each other. Yeah, cracking. Catch up with you in a minute, eh? All right, we all tried that then. Let's have a look on there. So Power BI, you're kind of a bit stuck with some of these, but what I've done is I've built this. It gives the option of picking somebody. Set it so we can only pick one person. So that was pick Jeff. Remember, he's number 49 again, isn't he? You can see how Jeff compares to the main group, right? We can see, interestingly, a big more a higher percentage of his loans comes from this existing loan takeover. But there's a bit more and there's not specified, but a lot more higher percentage in the unknowns. So there's something going on there with Jeff. It might be worth having a look at him. And that's kind of where you'd be able to get to from numbers like this. There's more tables we could build, we could do stuff with here, and we could start looking and seeing how can we build a profile that would allow us to compare and contrast, say, a Jeff with a Ross. Yeah, what's Ross doing? Let's have a look and see what Ross was doing. Yeah, because we need to know before we fire him. Oh, dear. So it looks like for Ross, he's actually taken a lot more of this as well. These existing loan amounts. Home improvements is a higher percentage than the overall. 28%, 27% on there, 22% for there. So you can see there's something that we want to understand that's going on, right? There's a lot more that we can't tell from here. So, does Ross have a young family? Does Jeff just not care about anybody? What's going on? Okay, that's what numbers will never get you. What you can start to see though is bad behaviors, and bad behaviors are what you need process mining for. So I want to leave it here for now because we're at that natural break point. The data set that we've got, it's shown us we can do stuff. We can start to compare and contrast our people and see kind of who's doing this, who's doing that. Are we making the right headway though? And the question will always be there, isn't it? How do I know that my people are doing the best for me? It's what I want as senior manager, CEO, founder, doing everything right. Am I leading by example? Right? Is the processes, the way I've set things out, are they being followed by my staff? Okay. And that's a key question, isn't it? For a lot of people. Is the vision going across? And one of the best ways to see that is the process working? And that's a really difficult question because what people will traditionally say to you is, well, you've got some KPIs there, you've got some KPIs there, they're being met. What's your beef? Right? But the reality is there's more to it than that. And process mining, it won't give all the answers out, but it'll tell you, hey, at this point, something's going on. It's not quite right. Yeah? You might have it, well, this should take 10 seconds, and it's taken days. So that's what we're going to look at next week, the process mining piece, right? And you'll see it in action. And it is a really interesting thing to watch process mining happen. So I hope you're going to stay with us. Come back next week. It'll be really good fun. Right? Have a great week and catch us all next week. Thanks.